Hey, everybody, time to bring it in for another edition of Grilling the Birds. It is brought to you by Inside the Birds, along with my main man, Trey Thomas. I'm Derek Gunn. And Trey, it has been a long time since we've had something positive to talk about with the Philadelphia Eagles. And, of course, nobody really expected us to be talking about a positive flow after that game against a Saints team who was the number one seed in the NFC East, against a Eagles team that was starting a rookie quarterback making his NFL debut. But as that old saying goes, on any given Sunday, and wow, did that play into this game? First of all, obviously, the buzz generated is Jalen Hurts. So I have to get your general thoughts as we open on Jalen Hurts' performance.
I think he was actually what Doug was looking for, that spark for this team. I mean, he came out there and just played with a lot of energy, a lot of confidence. And, man, going into this game, I didn't expect for them to win this game. I know we were like, oh, man, you know what, New Orleans is going to roll over them. But I thought that Hurts provided that spark, and this team just fed off of it and was able for them to pull through and get this win.
Okay, so he was 17 of 30 for 167 yards and touchdown, no interceptions. And not often we get to say no interceptions coming out of an Eagles game. But even more impressive, the man had 18 carries for over 100 yards against a Saints defense that was giving up less than 80 yards a game rushing. Do you think the Saints may have underestimated him?
I think that they weren't really prepared for the speed of Hurts, and that they overestimated how this offensive line was going to protect. I mean, this was like one of the top pass rushing defenses in the game. Right? We went into it thinking, oh, man, this is going to be brutal, especially when you have the offensive line is depleted as it was. So now you have the Hurts just go out there and just like, you know what? We're going to go out here and just ball. 0 sacks was quite impressive. Now, it wasn't a perfect game by the offensive line, but I think Hurts using his legs really helped this offensive line come out of this with 0 sacks.
You know, as I'm watching this game unfold and watching Hurts dance around and do incredible things, I'm starting to think how much of it was the offensive line blocking better or compared to Hurts making the offensive line look better because of his ability to scramble?
Well, you know what? I think that it was a little bit both hand in hand, because there were times where Hurts was able to go ahead and put his back foot down. If his read wasn't there, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get upfield and get out of there. So that helped a lot, because he wasn't sitting there waiting for the play to open up, waiting for receivers to get open and holding the ball. You know, if it was there, he got the ball out of his hands fairly quickly. Then there were times where the offensive line did a really good job, protected, gave him the time to go out there and scan the field. Then he made a throw downfield. So, I mean, you know what? It was a little bit of both throughout this game.
So, leading up to this game, we heard team leaders like Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce talk about how they're tight with Carson Wentz. All of this doesn't fall on Carson Wentz, it's on the whole team, but we will support whoever's out there. But you did notice right away a different level of energy with this team when they took the field.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's what Doug brought him in there for, to be that spark. And, I mean, you know what? Just across the board, this team played extremely well. Our defense, not only did just our offense go out there and get some things done, but the defense just was nasty. They played with a totally different level of energy. Now, this was the first time that they were actually responded to going up against one of the better defenses being compared to, because when they had a chance to have that attack against in Pittsburgh outshined them. So now you go out there, you had a second chance to prove yourself. And I mean, they came out of there with 5 sacks, and then our offensive line, for our offense to come out there with 0 sacks, it really showed which defense was hungry.
We knew that the offensive game plan had to be a little bit different for a Jalen Hurts compared to a Carson Wentz because of the different styles of quarterbacks that they are. But did you notice the number of rollouts they were calling for Jalen Hurts compared to trying to make Carson a stationary target? I'm thinking every time this young man rolled, I'm thinking, wait a minute now. Why wasn't this in the offense weeks ago?
Yeah, now, I think they tried to call the rollouts a couple weeks ago, but the big problem was it was a big emphasis in the media. And everybody was like, oh, you're going to roll him out. And defenses came into the game expecting that, so defensive ends would jet up field and stop the rollout before it could get going. But I think once you can establish the run, for you to be able to call rollout plays and call some of those play actions that get the quarterback out of the pocket, you have to be able to run the ball. And I think that that's one of the things that this team was able to get going. You ran the ball a little bit. Hurts was able to go ahead, give some play action, escape out of the pocket, and then now that opens up your rollout game.
Do you think also a lot of that was predicated on the difference in the height between a Carson Wentz and a Jalen Hurts in terms of giving him a better lanes to see downfield, to get him outside of that pocket, similar to what the Saints do with the Drew Brees?
Yeah. No, I think that they were just using his athletic ability where you can get him out there, roll him out. You can possibly, if it's not there, go ahead and run, get upfield, or, just moving the pocket, keeping them guessing, keeping the defense off guard and guessing, because I think that this defense, after a while, started getting a little frustrated and aggressive. They started losing some of their rush lanes. Yeah. Now, some of these rollouts was because Hurts went ahead and got out of the pocket, but then there were times where there were designed rollout plays that were called. So this was actually just an all-around game plan for the offense and defense.
Were you surprised the Saints didn't use more of a spy on Jalen Hurts? I mean, we talked about last week how Jalen Hurts caught Green Bay off guard. All of a sudden, Green Bay adjusted, put a spy on him, and Jalen wasn't able to do some of the things that he did early on to get the team closer in that game. And I'm waiting and I'm looking for, as smart as Sean Payton is, as smart as that defense was overall, I didn't really see them trying to spy him at any given point in the game, even after the half when you had, more of a visualization of what this young man was capable of doing.
Yeah, I don't know if they really underestimated him. I mean, they put too much emphasis on what their defensive front can do. I think that they felt like, going up against this offense, now we shouldn't have to do that. We should be able to go out there and just whoop these guys with our front four and make it happen without having to put the spy. We should be able to, because going into this game, I felt like their defensive front layered their rushes, and they could do the type of things that would keep Jalen Hurts into the pocket. But after a while, it was too late. The damage was already done. And then now once you have a defense on their heels, now, there's not much they can do. And then, our offense just kept rolling.
If you're the $100 million quarterback who's been relegated to the role of a backup for this game, now you're standing there amongst your teammates. You're looking to your left and right, and you're feeling the energy that's being generated every series, every down. You're watching this young man with limited experience at the NFL level just continuously excel, make plays, keep the chains moving. You have everybody rooting for this kid. You're the $100 million quarterback. What's going through your mind right now?
I want to get traded.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
I want to get traded. For me, with Wentz, do you really want to come back into this situation? Here you are again with another quarterback controversy, and it's not going to go anywhere. You just got over the Foles thing. You have a statue built to Foles that you have to pass by every time you go up there to the stadium. So now here we are again with another quarterback controversy, because even if they trade Hurts, here you are going to have to deal with oh, man, we should have kept Hurts instead of you. So really for me, I would just be like, look, this isn't working for me here. Go ahead and trade me. Let me go somewhere else so I can go out and be in a different situation, be in a smaller market where I don't have to deal with this pressure. I don't have to deal with the eyes of this city, because this is a tough city to play for, and especially for a quarterback that has to deal with quarterback controversy after quarterback controversy. I mean, it's just putting so much pressure on him that he's not going to be able to continue to play the game. Because the first time he has a bad game, we should have kept Hurts instead of him. So, you know what? Go ahead, let me go. You go ahead and have Hurts. Do what you need to do. Find a trade for me so I can go out there and go be the Carson Wentz that I need to be.
I'm glad you brought that up, because let's put our managerial hats on for just a moment. I agree with you 100%. They should try to find a trade partner. But because of what Carson has endured this season, if I am a prospective trade partner, I'm trying to get Carson for as cheap as possible now. Hey, I don't know if he's damaged goods. I don't know if you guys have mentally destroyed this man. I'm not giving you a first-round pick. I'm hesitant to give up a second-round pick. Now, from the Eagles' perspective, are they willing to take a third-round pick from Carson Wentz, knowing that he could go somewhere else and make them really look bad? Because if you look at the way it's structured right now, the Eagles have put themselves in quite the dilemma. I'm still of the mind that they're going to have to bring Carson back in 2021 because of the cap number and the money that this team would endure. And plus, I want depth at that position. I don't want just Jalen Hurts and then have to go out and find another rookie project quarterback and maybe bring a Nate Sudfeld back for another year at the veteran minimum. So I'm in a position right now. I've got a guy who's 5 years into my system. I have this young electric quarterback in my system. But, man, all we're going to hear next year, OTAs, minicamp, training camp, preseason, is who should be starting. And no matter what decision we make, it's not going to be the right decision. So the Eagles are in quite a predicament here in terms of what they can, cannot, should not do with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, but that's why I think that, for me, it's all about I think Carson is going to force their hand. And this is just what I personally feel, that given how things have gone over just these past couple of weeks, and to see how Hurts went out there and balled, and to see how everybody has reacted to it, oh yeah, man, I'm done. Let me go ahead and go somewhere else. I mean, I know that the Eagles want to find they want to have depth, they want to have someone that's been there all these years, but just the controversy that's going to follow behind it, I think it's going to be too much. And for me, I think that Carson is going to say, look, man, find me a new place to go. And I mean, you might have some teams that feel like Carson is worth it, because they know what type of athlete he is, and feel like, I'm the coaching, and it's my situation that can bring the best out of him, and might feel like, he might be worth a first round to some other teams that need a quarterback.
You said that Carson could force their hand. I don't see how he can force their hand, because number one, he's not the type of quarterback to verbally go against the grain. He is the consummate team player, so he's not going to publicly state his case. Number two, he's not going to hold out. He's not going to give up that kind of money. Kid from North Dakota, making more money than he ever dreamed of in his lifetime. He's not going to give up that kind of money. So he may have a wish list of what he wants to do, a respectful wish list of what he might want to do. But I don't see him forcing his hand, so to speak.
Well, you can get your agents. You don't necessarily have to be the one to be the bad guy. You make your agent be the bad guy. And then like you said, a kid from North Dakota, he ain't worried about money. Money is going to come. I mean, what, he gonna go buy a new shotgun? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? He
Give him another duck blind somewhere. Yeah.
What are you gonna go buy some more camo, some eye black, a new duck collar? I mean, you know what I'm saying? He ain't worried about money. Money is going to come. Carson's not the kind of guy that's pulling up to practice in a Phantom or this new extravagant Ferrari or something like that. Man drive a pickup and wear camo and AO1 hats. I mean, he ain't worried about no money, man. You know what I'm saying? He's studying all that.
Let's go back to Jalen Hurts for a moment. And one of the things that really stood out to me was his ability to feel the pressure, to slide away from the pressure, and to always know from which direction the pressure was coming from. I thought that was quite impressive from what this kid was able to do.
Yeah, I think he went into this game knowing where his weaknesses were going to be. You saw that your offensive line was banged up. You had some situations. This was going to be your 13th offensive line change, 12th offensive line change.
Yeah.
So, you're going into this game knowing that, all right, you know what, they might not be able to hold up for me. If I can see a lane, I'm taking it. Because if my read isn't there, and if I see a lane, I'm out of there. And he did a really good job of not having a planned escape route. Like Tony Romo always had a planned escape route where if there was pressure coming to him, he always tried to circle out the left side of the pocket. Jalen Hurts was kind of like a Russell Wilson where he was stood back there. You know what? I see a hole here to the left. I'm going to hit it. Oh, there's a hole here to the right. I'm going to hit it. He didn't have a planned escape route, which makes it harder for defenses to deal with.
Hey, did you notice that when Jalen Hurts went to the sidelines, Doug Peterson was there to greet him? Press Taylor was there to greet him, and they would huddle up and talk about things.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that what we talked about, what they weren't doing for the franchise quarterback for weeks?
Oh, man, it was so much attention. I mean, they were very attentive every time Jalen Hurts stepped off the field. I mean, as soon as he stepped off the field, it was like, Doug is right there waiting for him. As soon as the grass turned white, right there, like, hey, look, I was thinking about something. I was talking about this. And then Press Taylor was right there. And then Carson and Sudfeld was right there. And then Carson tried to, like, nudge himself in, but they kind of shot him an elbow, like, back up, dog. I need you to back up. Like, back up. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking to the starter right now. And so
Mind your business. Mind your business.
Back up, dog. Give me 50. Because we try 6 feet. 6 feet. That's what the protocol stands for. Right, while we talk to the starter, and so he felt he was a redheaded stepchild.
Oh my goodness!
They treated Ginger Jesus like the redheaded stepchild. Oh,
no, you didn't call him that. No, you didn't. No, you didn't say that.
Why they do that to Ginger Jesus? Why they do it? Oh man!
Something wrong with you, man. Something is really wrong with you. Oh my goodness, man!
Oh man, that's awful.
People out there gonna have take exception in you calling them that. Now you realize that. You might have some backlash out there now.
Man, I mean, I tell people all the time, man, I'm gonna offend somebody at some point. So I had to tell my parents. My parents called me about something I said on something, and I'm like, look, Mom, you know what? I'm gonna offend somebody at some point, so I can't, what?
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
sorry.
when you work on changing, becoming a better Trey Thomas. You don't just continue to do what you do and want people to accept it. At some point, you have to say, I'm out here trying to improve myself.
Okay, well, I apologize to all the gingers out there that got offended about me saying that he got treated like a redheaded stepchild because he's redheaded.
Okay, that's better. That's more politically correct. All right. So we're talking about how the Eagles have had multitudes of offensive line changes. Jack Driscoll starts at right tackle, played a pretty good game. But now we find out Jack Driscoll is done for the year with an MCL injury. But you want to bring up the fact, as we go in the trenches with Trey now, you want to bring up the fact that this man not only finished what he started, but was playing in excruciating pain?
Man, you know what? Here we are. Here's the time step here. Look at the time step on this particular play right here. Second quarter, 14 minutes, into he's still like only a couple seconds have ticked off the clock into the second quarter. And as you see right here on this play, Jack Driscoll is going upfield and boom, there he is. He gets clipped up and then there's the knee. Knee is done. He's on the ground. The big enterprise is there to pick him up. But, Jack Driscoll, he's hurt. The knee he got severely strained MCL. The man gutted it out for 3 more quarters. Gutted it out. A severely strained MCL and still pushed through this game and didn't give up any sacks. Didn't give up any sacks. Man, I have so much respect for this young man. I'm like, dude, for you to just say, you know what, man, I know it hurts. But, man, don't put anybody else in the game. I got it. I'm going to finish this game. And kept grinding. And, you know what? All you can do is salute that young man for going out there and doing something like that and pushing himself to the end like that and leaving it all on the field. Now, I will say this, just like I did, because we text each other from time to time. And I text him and I said, don't start getting paid. And then now you want to give up on the knee braces. Wear the knee braces, because that's what you wore all throughout college. Now all of a sudden you start getting paid and you want to look sweet. You want to look, whatever, however offensive linemen feel like they should. Man, put on some knee braces. And he was like, well, look, man, do they slow you down? Did they make you feel slow? I'm like, look, I don't care about being fast or slow. What I want to feel like is a tank. And that's what you need to feel like when you're going out there going to war. Because that little injury right there could have possibly been prevented if you had on some knee braces. And the best ability is availability in this game. So, put on some braces. It ain't about being fast. Who cares how fast you are? You're an offensive lineman. You need Miles Sanders and the receivers to be fast. You as offensive lineman, man, I want you to feel like a tank.
I still don't understand to this day, when you look at the abundance of knee injuries and ankle injuries that offensive linemen have, but in particular knee injuries, why are so many offensive linemen against wearing them? I mean, seriously.
Because they feel like they slow them down. You know, they feel like, oh, it's slowing me down. It doesn't feel right. You had in this age, every player that comes into the game, since in the 2000s, they've all had to wear knee braces all throughout college, mandatory for offensive linemen to wear knee braces, mandatory. And then all of a sudden you get into the NFL and you're like, all right, well, I don't want to wear them anymore. All right, then, well, either you're going to wear them by choice or you're going to wear them because you have to, because you done got your knees blown out a couple times. Because too many times injuries, you don't know how many times your knees were saved in college from that. So I don't know why all of a sudden, once you start getting paid, now you like, all right, whatever. And the NFL isn't going to make it mandatory. Now in college, they will make it mandatory because they need you, because they gave you a full scholarship. So they need you to last all those years and make do.
Yep.
But the NFL is like, all right, you know what? If you get hurt and you can't finish off your career, all right, because our contracts aren't guaranteed. So, you know, nobody's worried about that. All right, you get hurt. All right, you blow your knee out. You can't play anymore. That's your fault. You should have been wearing knee braces. And I have very little sympathy for that because that's an injury that could have been prevented.
Did you wear knee braces your whole pro career?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Anytime I put pads on, I put knee braces on.
What about a John Runyon and those guys?
Like some of those guys, Runyon probably didn't wear them. Some guys probably, you know, some guys don't wear them, you know, but I did. I wore them anytime we put pads on, I put those knee braces on.
So now we're looking at Matt Pryor back on the right side again. Your buddy, Matt Pryor?
Matt Pryor. He's back. So, yeah. Hopefully.
He's trying to think of something nice to say about Matt Pryor.
Being positive right now. I'm going to be positive. I hope that Matt Pryor comes in because I think that Matt Pryor does a solid job at tackle. He, you know, on the right side. Yeah, at times he has his moments. I feel like this year his technique has taken a drastic decline. I don't know why. I don't know what the cause is, but hey, you know what? You got 3 more games here. You got Arizona, you got Washington, and what? We had Dallas. Dallas. So, you know, I mean, you know.
All right, let me move on before you say something you might regret a little bit later on here. Obviously, you know, when you talk about stars of the game, you start with the Jalen Hurts, but I tell you what, that Miles Sanders is right up there on them. But before we get to Miles Sanders, let's take a pause for the calls and talk about that. You know, it feels like just yesterday that Los Angeles was lifting basketball's most coveted prize. Now, since then, we have introduced a new class of professional basketball players through the draft and seen a few marquee names switch teams. Now, luckily for us sports fans, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is here to kick off the 2021 basketball season with a no-brainer for all customers new and existing. If you haven't tried DraftKings Sportsbook yet, head to the App Store right now because you don't want to miss out on this great offer. Now, to celebrate the return of basketball, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a plus 75-point spread on the team of your choice on opening night. That's right. All you have to do is bet on any opening night game, and if your team does not lose by more than 75 points, you will double your money. Now, this Saturday, there will be an endless amount of action to get in on, so don't wait. Head to the App Store right now. DraftKings, as you know, is safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use the promo code ITB when you sign up to get a plus 75-point spread on opening night for a shot to double your money. That's code ITB to get a shot at doubling your money on opening night for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, we go back to the NFL, and, of course, we were mentioning Miles Sanders. And let me tell you something. That man broke loose like a colt breaking out a corral, sprinted 82 yards for a touchdown. And that really added some juice to this team when that man did that. But, Trey, it's the same play he ran against Pittsburgh and Baltimore back-to-back weeks for 74 yards. That zone blocking one, baby, cut back the next, and it's off to the races, baby.
Yeah, and here we are right here. Here's a clip of it right here. You'll see right there in this play I mean, beautiful inside zone run to the left. They did a really good job right here where, you know, you got Jordan, he kicks out on the defensive end, got a tight end goes upfield. Then you have Kelsey and Big Nate. Now, they're working a combination block from the defensive lineman up to that linebacker. As you can see right here, Nate didn't even block his guy because the linebacker was so afraid of what Jalen Hurts could do out of the backfield that he jumped to the backside A-gap, and then there you go, off to the races. Miles Sanders is streaking up the left side of the field. And what people need to understand, when it comes to a running play, every run play is designed to get the running back to the safety, and this right here is a perfect example of it. Getting the running back to the safety, and he's off to the races.
I felt that Miles also, he had over 100 yards rushing. You know, the Saints hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in like 55 games. In this game, the Eagles had two 100-yard rushers in Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders. I thought Miles Sanders had exactly the amount of touches I think he should have. I think he had 14, 15 carries.
14.
But had like about 19 overall touches. And I've said, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I've said this before and I will continue to say it again. People are wondering, why isn't Miles Sanders more of a workload horse? I said, Miles Sanders is not built like that. He's not a 20, 25, 27, 28 carry type back. His body is not built like that. But if you keep him right in that range where he's getting 15, 20 carries and maybe 3, 4, 5 passes, that's a good number for a Miles Sanders, the type of running back that he is.
Yeah, he's actually that. You know, it keeps him fresh. Then once that home run hits, man, he can take it to the house. He has that ability. So I think that this is a perfect mixture. You know, of course, everybody like, man, I want to see him get 20-some carries. Don't even pound him like that, especially when you have a Jalen Hurts back there that can kind of split the load a little bit with him. So
and a Jordan Howard and a Boston Scott.
Yeah, so you got some guys back there that you can mix it up a little bit, even though now, you know, you really didn't get many more rushes. Boston Scott only had 3 carries in this game.
Right.
But I think that, you know, with a mixture of Jalen Hurts and the other guys back there, it kind of helps balance it out. You don't have to make Miles Sanders that bell cow.
Hey, man, Alshon Jeffrey came out of the witness protection program.
Yeah.
Not only caught a pass, caught a touchdown pass. He only had 1 target, but he made the most of that target and then all of a sudden he went back in the witness protection program. Yeah. So is that what we should expect from Alshon Jeffrey the rest of the season? You see him sporadically? Yeah.
He's like Kaiser Soze. You ever watch The Usual Suspects? Yeah. It's one of my favorite movies. And it's like he showed up, he's there, poof, and then he disappears. You know what I mean? You know, he shows up for one play, boom, touchdown, and then now I'm back out, man. Hey, you know what? My contract has been justified for this week. I would like to thank you guys, and I'm out. I'll see y'all later. I'm going to go back over here and hydrate, you know, because you see that I scored a touchdown.
That's a whole lot of money for part-time employment, man. I'm telling you, that's a whole lot of money.
Man, that's a beautiful payday. That's a beautiful payday to go out there. You get 1 target, 1 touchdown. All right, there you go. My payment for this week has been justified.
Dang.
Thank you guys for coming.
Woo, dang. All right, let's shift over to the defense because we knew all the weapons that Saints had on their offense, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Emmanuel Sanders, so on and so forth. This defense stepped up. You hold a team like the Saints to 21 points and under 100 yards rushing. This team came out and balled out, man.
Yeah, the defense really did come out there and took it as a personal challenge. I mean, you know, our defensive front finally is out there getting after the quarterback. Not finally. I mean, you know what? They've been right there in the top of the league in sacks and getting after the quarterback. It just never really felt like it. When you watched the game, it didn't feel like they were out there just dominating other offensive lines. But this week right here, it really showed it where you can see our defensive front just getting after it. I mean, shutting down the run, getting after the quarterback. It was quite impressive to see.
They had 5 quarterback sacks on Taysom Hill, and Josh Sweat had 2 of them. None bigger than that 4th and 2 situation when he stripped Taysom Hill. Josh Sweat, it just continues to get better and better each and every week.
Yeah, he is definitely taking advantage of the reps that he has. I know a lot of people were like, all right, man, I want to go get Clowney. Let's go get Clowney. And I think I was one of those guys as well. But I thought that the Eagles looked at it and it was like, man, we kind of have a Clowney-ish type rusher out of Josh Sweat, someone that's tall, that has that length, and that can get after it. And, man, right now he's starting to prove his worth by taking advantage and getting out there, being that change of pace rusher, and, that switch it up from Barnett and get out there and he gets after it, man. He's been taking advantage of those situations and making a big impact on this defense. To come out of there with 2 sacks, that's an awesome dead body of work from him. And also 2 quarterback hits.
I want to give a shout out to the linebackers because you and I both have spent a lot of time this season just ripping the linebacking play apart. Now, the only negative was Jared Cook made an incredible touchdown catch on Alex Singleton. Okay, but that tight end, he gets paid to make plays just like you get paid to. But for the last at least 3 weeks, Alex Singleton is coming up, blowing up plays, running plays. He's making necessary plays in the passing game. And then this kid, Duke Riley, all of a sudden is starting to play a lot better as well. So maybe, just maybe, the linebacking core has heard all the negative criticism and so, you know what, I'm tired of getting chewed out. I'm tired of being made fun of. And all of a sudden, linebacking situation doesn't look as bad, especially with TJ Edwards down with an injury.
Yeah, I mean, young guys are taking advantage of the situations that are here. Alex Singleton has definitely stepped up and become that baller. I mean, I think this is his second or third time leading the team in tackles. I mean, that's what you want to see out of a linebacker. I mean, he's out there making plays, doing his part, and then, Duke Riley going out there getting an interception. That was huge. I mean, so these guys are really starting to kind of feel themselves out and kind of settle into their positions. That I think one of the things that was hurting them was just that they were getting fooled too much and not dropping back into where they needed to be in the defense and was paying too much attention to the backfield but not getting into their zone. So now I think that they've been receiving their coaching, getting back to where they need to be and making some plays, and that's what you want to see out of your linebacker play.
The secondary. Oh, my goodness. They held up on their own, but you talk about devastating decimation and injuries. Rodney McLeod, done for the year, ACL tear. Avonte Maddox, out at least a couple of weeks now because of a knee injury. Darius Slay is in concussion protocol. Now, we know a lot of times a player that's in concussion protocol, all of a sudden by the end of the week is well enough to come back. But there are many times when a player has to miss a game or two when they're in concussion protocol, man. Who's left to play in the secondary for this team now?
I don't know. I have no idea. And it's pretty tough, man, when you have someone like a Slay go down as well. Now, Slay has been getting banged up all throughout this year, with calf, whatever else that's been bothering him. And then now you get a concussion, to see McLeod go down like that had to have been hard because he's kind of, one of those big playmakers out of the backfield that to come up and make a nice little hit on you. Jalen Mills is kind of the only one you got left. It's going to be Jay Mills, Green Goblin, and whoever else that can step in and make a play. I have no idea who else you could put back there. I don't know.
Jalen Mills was asked to make a switch again. I thought he played a nice game overall. I thought he made some great plays, both in the tackling game and defending passes as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, Jalen Mills, he has his weaknesses, but man, but one thing I can tell you, he has a very short memory and he just keeps going out there and competing. And that's one of the things I like about him.
Now, the Eagles have 3 games left. Right now, they're the number 13 seed in the NFC. They're, a game and a half behind the Washington Redskins? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, folks. The Washington football team. Not the Washington Redskins. Can't say that anymore.
Yeah, no, you can't talk about that helmet that's back there no more. You can't use that. That's an old relic. Yeah.
I noticed that's why you blocking the helmet. I mean, you're a big man to begin with, but I noticed you blocking that helmet back there.
Yeah.
So let's say, for giggles, somehow, some way, the Eagles found a way to make the playoffs. Now, of course, we still have to sit back and observe Jalen Hurts for the next 3 games against Arizona, against Dallas, and, of course, against Washington. But as we see it right now, who's your quarterback if this team somehow found a way to get in the playoffs?
That would be absolutely hilarious. That's the question that I want to know. How is this going to play out? If Jalen mess around, there's no way. If Jalen plays well and wins out going into the playoffs, and they mess around and make their way into the playoffs, there's no way you can put Carson back in there. There's no way you can do it.
They want to do. It's their team. They can do what they want to do.
Well, you know what? I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And man, that would even put a little bit more movement into Carson saying, you know what? Yeah, I definitely have to get out of here. Because, I mean, you know, if Jalen messes around and gets this team into the playoffs, we have just enough injuries that we can go ahead and take it all the way to the Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah.
Do what?
Yeah.
To the Super Bowl.
Yeah, why not? We have just enough injuries and enough quarterback controversies and everything else. It makes a nice little gumbo that you can spread around, and let's go ahead and take this thing all the way to the Super Bowl.
Are you saying we're talking about the possibility of 2017 Part 2?
Oh, yeah, why not? I mean, you got a backup quarterback. I mean, Jalen Hurts performed way better than Nick Foles when he first had to step in. You know, I mean, well, you know what? No, Nick Foles stepped in and kind of came in. His first starting.
Don't talk about Nick Foles in front of these Philadelphia fans. Nick Foles is a legend, is a god in Philadelphia. Don't you talk about Nick Foles? Don't you talk about Nick Foles?
I know, but everybody knew it. It's because he won. Leading up to that game, everybody wasn't feeling that. You know, come on.
It doesn't make a difference. That man did win. The man got a statue. The man has a statue outside of Lincoln Financial Field. Don't say anything. That's like talking about somebody's little brother. When you start talking about Nick Foles, don't do it. All I'm
saying is that Jalen Hurts, now he stepped in as a starting role. I thought that his performance looked extremely impressive. And, I mean, you know what? Hey, man, why not? We're going to the Super Bowl. Let's go ahead. Book your tip.
Right.
Book your flights. Okay. Book your flights, man. We're going down to Tampa, man.
No fans allowed. No fans allowed the game. No fans.
Well, you can hang out, man. No fans allowed. I mean, I'm from Florida. I got a couple places down there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Knowing you ditch me. I don't trust you. You ditch me. Soon as you touch ground. Soon as you touch ground, you disappear.
I turn you on to some of that Southern barbecue down there, man.
Woo.
You know?
What?
You know?
What?
Yeah. Take you down there to my parents' farm, man. Hang out. You know, we're from Florida. You know, that's down there. You know, so yeah, man, we going to the Super Bowl. Go ahead and book my trip, man.
Wait. Does the parents' farm have a fishing pond on it?
I mean, now listen, now. I don't mess with Florida fresh water too much.
Why not?
What you mean? Why not?
What do you mean? What's wrong with Florida freshwater fishing?
Those giant lizards that's down there.
So you're afraid of lizards?
Yeah, no. I'm talking about gators. I don't mess with fresh water down there, man. I grew up, you know, swimming in some of those ponds, and I'm very, very, very happy to say that I will never do it again. You know, because you know what? One time I was living in Tampa. I was in Tampa for something else, and I was down there for a team that went over to Russia. We played basketball, but these guys showed me, like, we was swimming out there in the pond. We young, we ain't really know nothing, man. We went out there at night one time with a flashlight and saw those eyes pop up out that water.
Yeah,
that was it for me. No more swimming in fresh water for me.
Hold on, man. There's a whole lot of people down in Florida who fish fresh water, largemouth bass fishing. Yeah. And you can't beat it, man. You can't beat it.
I'd rather go out in the boat, man. Let me go get out in the ocean, man. I'm not.
You can get in a boat in fresh water. The gator not gonna climb up over in the boat.
Yeah, I just don't deal with fresh water, man. I go deep sea fishing if I go fishing.
I like that too, but can we do both?
We can do both.
Right.
You know. Yeah, we can do all that. I got you. We got people down there.
I don't trust you, man. I don't trust you. I know you too. I don't trust you. No, that's all right. I just thought about that. That's all right. No.
I got you, man. Yeah,
I'm a hire professional guide. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do too. I don't mess around with that.
Hey, look, you talking about the backup quarterback. Can we find a backup kicker somewhere? Jake Elliott missed a chip shot. Man, come on, man. How many times can this dude miss in a season?
It is so upsetting to see a kicker miss
a chip shot.
Period. I don't care if it's 30 feet. I don't care how far it is. It is so upsetting to see a kicker miss because that's all you do. That's all you do. Now, I do appreciate that it is extremely difficult. It is not the easiest thing to do.
No.
Not everyone can't do it. But that is all you do. You don't have to worry about blitzers. You don't have to worry about blocking. You don't have to go out there and pound your body to a pulp every game. All you do is kick off and put the doggone ball between the uprights. That's all you do. They sit over there and practice.
Yeah, I understand it when you're talking about short distance. I understand your fury. Now let's give kickers their due now. When you're talking about kicking 50, 60 yards, it's wind conditions come into play. You have to kick the ball with a lower trajectory, which bigger linemen have the possibility of blocking your kick. It's a snap to the hole, to the actual planting of the foot to the kick. There's a whole lot of timing involved here, and you have a narrow space that you got to get that ball through. But when you're inside of 30 yards, it should be automatic, shouldn't it?
Yes, because that's all you do.
Okay, yeah, all right. Just want to clarify that.
It's all you do. They sit over there and practice and play their little kicker games, you see. And when everybody out there getting beat up, they play little kicker games. Like if you want to have fun at practice, go see what the kickers are doing, because they play little kicker games, man. They play like the little throw the ball to the line, see which ball can get closest to the line and little stuff like that. They kick the ball to hit the pole, do little stuff like they practice hitting the pole and all that, and then they go in and play video games. That's it. Their day is done. So when they miss,
you don't give the kickers any love, man. Give the kickers some love.
Okay.
Should the Eagles be looking for another kicker at this point? I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys sitting at home out there.
I don't know, because Jake, but this team, but this is the problem with this team, because he won a Super Bowl for the team. Yeah, that solidifies you. That puts you, that keeps you there. I don't know. But can they fix him? Because whatever it is, it's a mental block.
Yeah.
Are you going to sit him down with somebody, a sports psychiatrist? Or you have a woosah moment? I don't know. Woosah. Do you need to sit him down? Does he need to see it from a 30,000 view, whatever the big picture that Doug is talking about? Do they need to put their arm around him, give him some attention, some love? Because right now, you're gonna see Doug going for 2 almost every time now. For him to go out there and miss that, that's and it was such a kill, because you got there driving down the field, you're going out there making some momentum. Here we go. Hey man, this should be automatic. Everybody ready to go inside, and you see the ball just doink. Man.
Yeah.
You don't even want to look at the kicker right now.
Well, with Jalen Hurts at the helm, they're 1-0. On to Arizona now. Go west, young men. It's on to Arizona now. Arizona, hard team to figure out. They get blown out at home by the Rams. They come west to east and go to New York and play a Giants defense team that has been playing very well. Daniel Jones back at the helm of that team. And, they took it to the Giants. I'm thinking, this is a cold weather game. It should mentally play in favor of the Giants. Arizona went in there and stomped a mud hole in the Giants. Man, I was shocked at how, especially in the second half, how well Arizona controlled that game.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be another team where, which one of our offenses is going to stand up? Is Jalen Hurts going to be able to continue to create that spark that this team feeds off of with our defense? Because you have an extremely mobile quarterback back there. So are you going to be able to continue to rally them? And now with a depleted secondary, man, Arizona does have some nasty receivers out there.
DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. But you know what? We didn't think that they were going to be able to pull it off against the Saints.
That's right.
Man, we going to the Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah, we're going to win against Arizona. Go do work, Philly. All right.
All right. Let's reel it in for just a moment. Jalen Hurts is fast. But this kid, Kyler Murray,
Yeah.
It's like watching those old cartoons, Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the road runner.
Yeah.
This kid's a flat out road runner because every time I watch him, you see potential tacklers trying to take the proper angle to get to him. And all of a sudden, that kid just does one of these little. All of a sudden, you can't get an angle on this kid. The only thing you can do is try to corral him and make him run out of bounds on his own. But you can't get proper angles on this kid.
No, he has that type of speed, and he can throw on the run. I mean, he is extremely dangerous out there. The only thing that I've been noticing with him is that it seems like he's been dealing with some type of shoulder injury, so he's not as aggressive of getting out of the pocket at times. But I tell you what, I think that, again, our defense is going to have to come out there. You thought that Tannehill was going to be able to run over our defense and come with all these different little runs and all that, but our defense answered the call. So now here we go. This is what you have to do. You have to answer that call every week, and to see how our defensive front went out there and attacked New Orleans. Can they create that same thing again? Doug said, you know what? I'm tired of it. It has to be more than a spark. I'm hoping it's a flame. So here we go. Flame on. Let's get it, baby. We're on the way to the Super Bowl. I need you to get on board.
Talk to me about that once they get past the second round of the playoffs. That's when I'll start talking Super Bowl.
I need you to get on board. It needs to start now.
So you're predicting an Eagles win in Arizona on Sunday?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. I don't know.
As we say in the business, cut. That's enough of this bet. Hey, we want to thank everybody out there for tuning in to the latest edition of Grilling the Birds. Of course, you can see Grilling the Birds on the Inside the Birds podcast and YouTube platform. So hopefully you tune in and enjoy the entertainment and some of the craziness that this guy talks about each and every week.
We're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl.
So first of all, you got to learn how to wear a hat, man. You look like.
That's how I wear a hat, man.
Huh?
That's how I wear a hat.
You look like Elmer Fudd with that hat on right now, bro. Yeah, you got to fix the bill, bro.
Yeah, that's how I wear a hat.
Okay, but all right. Anyway, for Trey Thomas, I'm Derek Gunn. He just threw me all off. For Trey Thomas, I'm Derek Gunn. Thanks for watching Grilling the Birds. Hopefully, the man's wish comes true to form. The Eagles shock the world again and pull off another win in Arizona. Until then, we'll be back, of course, next week to talk about that and moving forward. So long, everybody, and be safe out there.
Super Bowl!